about the change in personality, depression, and all these things. This is very real. And we have identified the reasons from the theory, and some doctors in Italy some pathologists have confirmed that. The spike protein, unfortunately, attacks and destroys also the endocrine system. So the glands producing hormones, and hormones are what make our emotions and feelings and all those things. And so an Italian pathologist near Venice, he went on a newspaper telling that all the brains he had investigated, he found the pineal gland completely destroyed on all the people who were vaccinated. Okay, so the spike protein is also very dangerous for the endocrine system. That's why people have these changes in personality and.
And how is it killing the immune system? And this is really important. The Pfizer shot is able, because of the way that they created it synthetically, allows the messenger RNA to passenger inside your cells and be replicated indefinitely by the ribosomes. So you cannot get it out of your body. There's no detoxin from it. Now, can you detox your body and make yourself overall healthier? Yes. Are you going to eliminate the spike protein or the antibody to the spike protein or the stupid monoclonal antibodies that they're advocating? No. Because you sensitize your dendritic cells and your B cells. Those spikes are going to be there probably forever. Now, this one is really important. The messenger RNA ablates, wipes out, destroys toll-like receptor 3, 7, and 8. The toll-like receptors are like, if you've ever heard my talk on toll-like receptors, I love toll-like receptors. They're like God inside our body, right? They're these little radars that are constantly, vigilantly looking around and getting rid of viruses, bacteria, and things that don't belong there. They are our innate, God-given, what we are born with immune system. The messenger RNA shots destroy toll-like receptor 3, 7, and 8, which is our primary first line of defense, making us more susceptible to getting COVID. And this is why all the people that get the shots suddenly are sick, because they're more susceptible. We know the mechanisms. And the doctors are illiterate and not reading it. We know why people who get the shots are more likely to get sick and more likely to be hospitalized. And if they're in the hospital and they get remdesivir and they put on a ventilator, that's a greater than 80% mortality rate. We know the mechanism. Number 3, we know the mechanism of this too. The spike proteins enters the nucleus of the cells and binds to our DNA. So anybody who says that it doesn't irreversibly bind to your DNA are wrong. They're not reading the scientific literature. And when it binds to the DNA, it blocks the door. And when it binds to the DNA, it starts making it into an abnormal cell that, if that cell replicates, will turn into cancer. And then it bars the door, blocks the door, and doesn't allow our God-given immune system repair enzymes to come in and repair the damage that spike protein has caused. Hence, that allows cancer to form, and why we are seeing, and Dr. Ryan Cole has talked about this a lot, why are we seeing this explosion of cancer in people that get these shots? People that have been in remission, been treated, they're in remission, or they said they don't have cancer anymore, suddenly they're exploding. And it's endometrial cancer, all kinds of blood cancers, lymphatic cancers, breast cancers from these shots, and we know the mechanism. It's not a guess. Data came out just in the last 2 weeks that if a person is injected, they're 8.12 times more likely to be infected with Omicron. Again, suppression of your immune system, suppression of your white blood cells, ablation of your toll-like receptors. The more shots you get, the more you destroy your immune system, and the faster that happens. And it's anticipated, the German data says that by the end of 2022, every fully vaccinated person over the age of 30 may have the equivalent of full-blown vaccine-induced immune-suppressed AIDS. This is government data from Germany. This came out about 2 weeks.
Guys, I want to speak real briefly to you. I've been monitoring how this matrix system has been working. alongside with the co-creation, the God source matrix system. So we know that these beings, the fallen ones, they came here and they began to invert this matrix system from its organic God creation. Their whole plan is to move us mentally from who we are. This is what this whole incarnational cycle has been since it's been inverted, to use us like a battery, to keep us more dumbed down and reincarnating with these contracts that simply don't get diminished after we finish them. Another trick, another trade of these dark fallen ones, these Anunnakis and these Dracos, they want to move us away from the God source within us. They want us to lower our light spectrum, the God particle within us. This is what the jab is doing. This is what the 5G frequency towers are for, to infuse us from the organic God source that we are, divine feminine and divine male. They invert us to be against each other instead of going inside, looking at ourselves and seeing that mentally and physically we have been infiltrated by beings that understand us a little bit more than what we used to. In the beginning, we were balanced. We understood each other, not just on a personal level, but on a spiritual level. We were in tune with who we are and our surroundings as far as nature, animals, and every living creature on the planet. We were in tune. We didn't have to speak verbally to anything. We understood it emotionally. We understood it on a deeper level. We spoke telepathically, or we used a light language. And this was high vibrational. And it was a higher understanding of nature and balance and respect. If you look around us today and how we operate, they keep us in a pyramid structure, almost like the capstone on a pyramid, where they're at the top and we are at the bottom looking up. We're always looking up, trying to achieve something that they implanted: fame, fortune, wanting to be seen. Yes, they can be good lessons to learn from, but are they what we need? Or is it more traps to keep us looking outside of ourselves and who we truly are? These beings like worship. They are the pinnacle of false idols. They are not the true God, and they will never be the true God. But they want you to believe that they are all powerful, when in fact, they need you more than you need them. And if their influence stopped today, it will bring about balance, unity, and activating your own God source spark within yourself. You will be more in tune as our ancestors were in the original plan of man and woman. The influence from the Orion television, the 666, the mark of the beast, the major influence. They intune their technology through television. It gives off a frequency of obedience, something that we cannot pull away from. It's the same frequency that comes through the Wi-Fi systems within our phone. It is infused with radiation. It gives off a negative polarity that pulls us in, almost like how a black hole works, constantly pulling us, constantly tuning us away from who we are. We're constantly looking outside for validation. Everything that is going on in the universe is going on within yourself. Whenever you need answers, look within yourselves and you will find it. I'm going to be sharing and exposing more of their plans, because the more we know, the more we grow, the more we become powerful. They use technology over us to keep us bound, but we are not bound by any of their laws. We do not have to obey any of their laws. We are free will beings. So the more we know about them, the less they can control us and manipulate us. It's more manipulating us that leads us into their control, not a physical control, because there are more of us that can manifest that they try to force by their will. Then we manifest, we unite, and they don't want us uniting so fast like that. So they do it in a slow manner. They do it by the poisons that they put in our food chain, the poisons that they put in our water supplies, the poison that they put mentally into us through television. So let's keep exposing who they are and why they're here. And we can liberate Earth. We are the saviors that we have been looking for. Love, honor, and respect.
It just resurfaced, and it's stirring up all kinds of wild theories, especially the one that claims that the beloved Elvis Presley might have been a reptilian. Let's take a closer look and break it down together. This was an old black and white video showing Elvis receiving an award. A young girl is beside him and he graciously leans down to kiss her on the cheek. Everything seems normal at first, until it doesn't. Watch closely as he bends in. Something about his face starts to shift. The young girl's expression suddenly changes. She doesn't look happy or flattered. She looks confused, maybe even a little frightened. That's when you begin to notice it too. Elvis's face seems to glitch. It begins to distort ever so slightly, like it's melting. Even the man standing nearby seems to notice something is off. Then, right on cue, another man walks into frame trying to block the camera's view of Elvis's face. One of Elvis's eyes appears to droop unnaturally. The new man pulls out a handkerchief and dabs his face, trying to play it off like Elvis is just sweating. But let's be honest, it doesn't look like sweat. It looks like something else entirely. A hole appears beneath his eye, and the men try to act normal. We all know Hollywood is full of secrets and strange things, and with footage like this paired with the ongoing reptilian theories, well, maybe it could be true. So what do you think? Was this just a weird camera glitch, or did the king of rock and roll reveal something much deeper on live TV?